We live? We're live.
We're live.
We're live. Welcome back to On the Virg podcast. We're live 6 minutes late, but we are live. And I don't see us live here on my phone for some reason. Do you see us live,
We're
Trent?
live.
Okay. Well, hopefully my phone will reset itself, and there we go. Now we're live. So I will be able to see your questions as you are asking your questions. And hey, how often do you get, three legislators and one Republican chair in a room at the same time?
This is Senate District 1 right here.
Yeah,
And don't you forget it.
Rep
Yeah.
District 1, Rep District 2.
I heard there was free
Senate.
pizza. That's the only
Is that
reason.
what it was,
Yeah.
the free
No,
pizza?
there-
Well, I'll
there-
tell you.
There was some good food at the DTO earlier.
Yes,
If-
sir.
If you're not
Salmon.
asking questions tonight, then shame on you, because we've got people here that can hopefully answer some of those questions. But anyway, welcome back to On the Verge. I'm your host, Virgil Osborne. I am your House District 2 rep. As always, this is a conservative voice of Southern Oregon. And once again, if you don't like what we have to say on this show, please come down here and see Justin at Little Mill Media, and he will set you up with your own show. It's not that expensive, and you can talk about whatever you want. But otherwise, thank you for joining us, and hopefully everybody enjoys our show and likes to hear what we have to say. With that, we do have some sponsors. Becky Holmes Insurance, and we're going to hear a little bit more about her later tonight. We're going to also, Andrea Williams Advocare, great product, great lady. They're both sponsors of this show. Also, Twin Peaks Off-Road, my company, is a major sponsor of this show. And also, of course, Little Mill Media puts all this stuff on for us. They're behind the scenes. We're looking at them. They got all their cameras and stuff facing us, and they're making us look skinny and tall.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, I lied a little bit. But anyway, they're doing a great job. So let's go ahead and introduce our guests. And I think I'll just start with our far left here, Trent.
Far left indeed.
Oh, that's bad.
I just called you far left.
I know it. Yeah. dang.
We caught it.
Yeah. Trent Drake. I am the Republican, Douglas County Republican Central Committee Chair, and your campaign manager going into this campaign season.
All right, thanks for joining.
Court Boys, State Rep 1, California-Oregon border, all the way up east side of Coos Bay and over to Douglas County Fairgrounds. So 180 miles. I love the driving all the time. It's fun.
Hey, thanks
Glad
for
to be here.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We've been, all of us have been in meetings all day.
And yesterday.
And yesterday, and I think
Yeah.
you're scheduled for the rest of the week over
I'm
here.
going to
so
stay here, you know.
Yeah.
and I
Thanks.
love Douglas County, to say the least.
Don't we all? Thanks for coming. Also to my right.
That's better. See, to the right, State Senator David Brock Smith, Senate District 1, which encapsulates Curry, Coos, and Douglas counties. And it's great to be here. And Virgil, I just want to say before I forget at the end, I really appreciate how you put on these podcasts every week, you and Trent, and you've been dedicated in doing it and getting our conservative voice for Southwest Oregon out to the people. You've had fantastic guests, especially tonight. And so, but I really do appreciate, and it's I think my third or fourth time
Yeah.
on the show, and it's just a fantastic opportunity to speak to our constituents and people not just in Oregon but around the world.
Thank you. And I think that was our intention when Trent and I put this together.
Right.
And we're getting 400,000 hits over the course of a 28-day period. Yeah, it's amazing, the coverage. And that's all because of you guys. And what, with that, I also want to say, please like and follow us. We're on, I think, 13 different platforms, including Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and a host of other ones. So wherever you like to listen to your podcasts. Also, we're live here on Facebook, and we're also live on YouTube. So you can always look at, you can go back and look at it as well. But the intention of this was to be transparent, and the intention was to bring your government to you, so people have an opportunity to not only just think about, they can't say, well, we thought you said this. No, you're listening to us live. So when you hear us say something, we can't deny it, we can't hide it, and it's going out to 400,000 people. So almost 500,000 the last time I looked. So yeah.
Denying it wouldn't be in our nature anyway.
Denying it would make you look pretty bad. So yeah.
We can't be like our state senators, right? Or excuse me, U.S. senators right now. That
You're not very happy. is
well,
that
no,
right?
I'm pretty damn mad at our U.S. senators, and especially with the the shutdown and the blatant lies that they told not just Oregonians but the American people about why. And it was just them throwing a tantrum. We've done walkouts before, and we've shut down the Oregon state government, and my goodness, they just piled on with the state Democrats and whining away. Meanwhile, they go ahead and do it just because they don't like the budget negotiations. It was a Biden-funded CR that all was trying to move forward, and frankly, I'm happy that some of the Senate Democrats in D.C. came to their senses and moved an open government so our veterans can get the services they needed, and individuals that needed their their SNAP benefits and so forth can move forward. And all of the malarkey that was involved with the Democrats was ridiculous.
When the most sensible person in D.C. on the Democrat side is John Fetterman, that should tell you something.
Hallelujah.
Yeah,
From your
absolutely.
lips.
Yeah. And if he wants to join our party, that'd be fine with me.
Let's work on that.
Yeah, exactly. So we have been busy. I think a lot of people think during the interim we just kind of go home and I don't know, do nothing. But frankly, that's about the farthest thing from the truth. We've been pretty crazy busy. And the first thing I want to mention is that we just got back from the Reagan dinner. And Trent, you put that on, you and Sean Garrett and Danny Anderson, I think, right?
Actually, I did not. They came to me and I said, let her roll. And like you, I bought a table and support them 100%. And Sean Garrett and Danny Hahn, she got married.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
And they knocked it out of the park.
Yep.
Everything was great. The evening went. It was really geared around recognizing some of our volunteers, lifelong volunteers,
Yeah.
that have been part of our organization for so many years. And of course, you spoke, and we had your message that was awesome. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And they just every little part. And it was just it was meant to be fun and have a good get together. And we had some special guests there: Monique Despain, Daniel Bethel.
Yep.
And a couple others, and of course all of our commissioners, which is awesome. For me, those guys, the three commissioners to me, they're if I need somebody besides you guys, they're the first guys I call. I call you first, and then those guys, and I can always get support from those guys. So I really feel that it was a great unified night of celebration.
Yeah, it's nice to see our commissioners, as well as all of us, come back to the party and to the Republican Central Committee and be able to participate in things. And I think that was really good. It was a great fundraiser. Also, they had some amazing prizes. I wouldn't say prizes, but not raffle. It was an auction, live auction.
Live auction.
And the only thing that didn't go was the trip to Mexico, I think,
Yeah.
right? And
Didn't meet the minimum.
yeah, we'll save that till next time, hopefully.
Maybe I can buy it for the minimum.
There you go.
Oh.
Before we get into all of the other stuff, the other thing we did this week was the canned food drive. Actually, we did it over the weekend. And for those of you who
finished
don't,
up today.
you finished it up today. We delivered. I don't know. I haven't found out how many pounds yet, but we delivered a whole entire pickup truck of canned foods and
In total, how many trucks?
Oh, I think there were around 3.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we probably had over 3,000 pounds of canned food.
So a couple tons.
Yeah, a couple. Oh yeah, definitely a couple tons of canned food that we.
And stovetop and mac and cheese
Yeah.
and
College food, man. I miss that.
it was just fantastic. And thank you, Virgil, for putting that together and Champagne
Absolutely.
Creek and all that you're doing out there for our community. It's just fantastic.
Diamond Boulevard Dream Center.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, and the commissioner supported it, and
Yeah.
just real quick, when you talk about, I've been a commissioner, of course, Court's been a commissioner. I was a commissioner and started in 2013. Commissioners Freeman, Commissioner Boyce, and Commissioner Kress are just a rock solid team for Douglas County.
Yep.
I challenge anyone to find a better functioning team of commissioners. You got commissioners being recalled in Josephine County right now. You got a commissioner being recalled in Lincoln County right now.
Curry County MS.
Curry. Anyway, we have a rock solid team of commissioners that work well with all the electeds, and I wish it were the same in every county, because if that were the case, we'd really have an opportunity to really move the needle in Salem as well. Because in places like Clackamas County, those commissioners represent more than the representatives do in the number of constituents. And so anyway, I just want to give a shout out to the commissioners. There's always engaged in the community events, and they're there for the people
They're always
because
there.
they care.
Yep.
They are,
Always
and, and I want to just mention for those of you listening tonight that don't know how the whole canned food drive came about. So, Champagne Creek Ranch was a piece of property that was really unusable because of the landslide potential, and it was just wasn't good forest land, and the county owned it. The county donated that property to Champagne Creek Ranch, which is a nonprofit, and it's the nonprofit was formed to give basically it's an educational nonprofit, and we do a lot of search and rescue training out there. We do a lot of DPSST does all their fire training now for all of their timber. I shouldn't say as timber deputies, but also the fire Type 6 fire engines. They go out there to train, and we also do rattlesnake training for dogs out there. So we teach dogs how to avoid rattlesnakes. Rattlesnake avoidance training, which is pretty neat to watch, and a host of other things that we do. But Champagne Creek Ranch, one of the big things we do every year is we do a canned food drive on Friday after Thanksgiving. And I contacted the commissioners this year and I said, hey, wouldn't it be great if all of us, all the elected officials, kicked in a token amount of money, not a huge amount, but we all got together and then we went shopping at Sherm's. And we did that. And it was amazing to interact with the public. You know, I mean, the public was just like, oh, yeah, you guys, yeah, that's awesome what we're doing. And so, amongst all of us here, and as well as the commissioners, we were able to put together, again, it's a couple $1,000s worth of food, maybe $2,200, plus Extreme Off-Roaders 4-Wheel Drive Club donated some money. My business kicked in some money, and we had some great folks, including my chief of staff, who kind of organized everything. She's behind the scenes. She don't get enough credit sometimes, but that's okay. She still loves us. So,
And we love her.
yeah, she's
Day's
pretty
not
awesome.
over yet, though.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
And at the Dream Center today, when we dropped off the last load, was it Diana? Who was the woman that was there?
Oh,
on the
Carla.
boat? Carla, excuse
Yeah.
me. She said that they service 2,100 people a week.
Yeah,
That is just amazing.
Yes.
it is.
Figure out how many that is a day.
That's a lot. Well,
Yeah.
I know we give them enough food today to keep going for a while, which is pretty darn cool. I don't want to beat that topic to death, but we are gonna cut real quick while we add listeners. We're gonna cut to a commercial break real quick. We have about a 30-second commercial, and then we're gonna read a couple of commercials here from some sponsors.
Do I get to read one again?
You do. I just gave you one to read.
Oh, we'll give Court the other one.
Give Court
the
the other one. Well, hold on.
Not yet.
We'll be back in about 30 seconds. Thank you.
Is your 4x4 ready for the trail? Twin Peaks Off-Road is your first stop for maintenance, repairs, and custom upgrades. From differential services to winch installs, we do it all. Fast, reliable, and built for adventure. Don't wait for breakdowns in the backcountry. Call Twin Peaks Off-Road today at 541-900-0015 or visit twinpeaksoffroad.net. Keep your 4x4 off the roads and in the adventure.
Hopefully. Welcome back to On the Verge, your conservative voice of Southern Oregon. And again, we have some great guests with us tonight. I'm seeing questions come in, and we're not ignoring them. There's a ton of stuff to talk about. And I see that Becky, actually, we're going to read your commercial here, but which I see she actually mentioned something about the insurance commissioner and what's happening with the insurance. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Anyway. Moving on, we would like to acknowledge a couple of our sponsors. And Court, would you like to go first?
Becky, Home Insurance. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
It's that time of year again. I'm not talking hunting season. I'm talking annual enrollment for Medicare in the marketplace. To find out what Medicare just did to you, give my friend Becky Holm a call. She will take the time to explain your choices and help you come to a decision that's right for you. Plans change, doctors change, the plans they accept, or your medication list may have changed as well. Regardless of the changes, Becky is here to guide you through it. She is licensed in several states and based right here in Roseburg, Oregon. Call Becky Holm, 541-900-6001. Again, 541-900-6001.
You know, we should have videoed that. That was better than
He's-
better than I do.
He's
And I don't have the right glasses either.
Here, I'll
he's-
take it.
Wow.
He's, as Senator Wyden says, he's got the face for radio. Anyway, but I'd like to talk about Andrea Williams and her Advocare.
Yeah.
And feeling tired, sluggish, or just worn down from the gloomy weather or back to school grind? It's time to get your energy and confidence back. Andrew Williams with Advocare helps people clean away those naggy mental cobwebs, lose weight, boost energy, and with a spark and feel incredible again. Visit healthytribe.org. That's Healthy Tribe, all one word. Excuse me. Visit healthyhabittribe.org. That is Healthy Habit Tribe, all one word, .org. Or reach out to Andrew Williams on Facebook and start feeling amazing today.
Good job. I think Court might have did better.
He
tonight.
did. He
Yeah.
got me.
One word, way back from my generation, pizzazz.
Pizzazz, that's it. Face for radio.
I just feel the competition coming on.
Well, hey guys, let's talk about our day today while we wait for more questions to come in. But I know we all were, well, actually you guys attended a meeting in Canyonville for Douglas Timber Operators, right?
No, DFPA.
I'm sorry, yeah, DFPA, excuse me.
Douglas Forest
Douglas
Protection
Forest,
Association.
Yeah, wonderful
And
organization.
yesterday in Coos Forest Protective, our 9 Forest Protective associations that take care of the fire. The reputation Oregon firefighters have at the Oregon Department of Forestry level, they keep 95 to 98%, depending on the year, the fires under 10 acres. And so it's just, they're incredible professionals and they are inspiring, and we're really lucky to have them in our state. So we show up and support them whenever we can.
Absolutely.
And get them funding. I know we're all of us are
We're
working
all
for
working
funding.
on that. It was amazing this year. We did not have much of a fire season, although we had the potential to have a fire
Yes, we
season
did.
because we had a lot of lightning strikes and we had some stuff going on up in the upper part of the North Umpqua that around Thielsen that was burning. But DFPA jumped on everything really quick.
They did.
I mean, and I watched the call outs, I get some of that stuff back.
Sure.
And I'm like, holy cow, these guys are busy.
And the coordination with ODF and USFS and BLM, for that matter,
Which we didn't used to have, but
No,
now
it is- it
last
is
10
just-
years it's been remarkable.
it's just humming.
It's all about the first attack.
Yep.
I mean, if you can put men on the ground, I shouldn't say men, you can put people on the ground, men or women, and they can hit that first attack within the first couple of hours.
Initial attack.
Initial attack,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Then the fires tend to get put out, and we're just really lucky to have Douglas Forest Protection. You guys have Coos Forest Protection Agency. It's amazing that we have them. We will always, I'm sure all of us will always continue to try to support them in whatever way we
They
can.
really have some great leadership in
They-
their ranks.
They do.
Well, it saved. I mean, Court spent. He's I think been on the show since to talk about it in a previous show. But Court spent almost a month up at his old Paradise Lodge up the Rogue River, only accessible by boat.
Yeah.
That and Half Moon Lodge was surrounded in fire, and if it wasn't for the initial, not only just the initial attack on that fire, but also the initial personnel that went up there to save those historic facilities, they wouldn't be standing.
That's right.
David, when they first heard of the fire, the Forest Service responded in less than 3 hours. 10 years ago, no kidding, as you well know, it probably would have been 3 days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They were jumping on it right
Because
now.
that's all. Some of that's wilderness area, right?
it was
Which
all,
makes it even more
Yeah.
difficult to access, of
well,
course. Yeah.
and then and to
Very
that,
rugged terrain.
To that end, Chetco Bar Fire, we didn't have Merv George as our USFS Rogue Siskiyou Regional Supervisor, who is a go-getter when it comes to being proactive and initial attack. So thank you,
We
Merv.
floated him through the canyon, the full 3-day trip in 2020. And so we stayed at Paradise, and so he's very familiar with the lodges, and he had a little bit to say too on their response, which we greatly appreciate. And so fire still, number one, in my view, the number one public safety threat we have in the state of Oregon. Our fuels are at levels that we're all aware of, and getting them the funding, and again, we're all really involved in that, and I appreciate the work you guys do.
And it all comes down to forest management
Yep.
and lack of it. And we are not managing our forests because the environmentalists won. They really did. I mean, they shut us down in the 80s. The spotted owl pretty well killed off the timber industry as far as being productive. And now our forests are overgrown. And I tell people, of course, everybody has an opinion on what's really going on. I hear a lot about climate change, and I don't even want to. I'm not a climate change guy. Is the weather getting warmer? Probably. Does that make a big difference? I'm sure over time it probably makes some difference.
It's
But
a cycle.
It's a cycle, But the fact of the matter is, in the 60s and 70s, we planted 10 trees per every tree that we took out, right? With the full intention of coming back in the 80s and 90s, and we were going to thin those trees out, and then the spotted owl shut us down. And when that happened, guess what happened? We have an overgrown forest. I mean,
Well, then you also had the Monuments Act in the 90s from Bill Clinton,
That's
which
true.
shut commercial thinning completely down. And
Very
that,
true.
that was the end of commercial thinning.
Well, and then you also had the roadless rule when it came to
Right.
Bill
Yeah.
Clinton.
Thank you.
When it comes to, and which is, we're working to reverse on the federal level, but the reality is that the data is very clear. That, and you've all heard me rattle this off, but
Yeah.
on the 10-year average, 13 to 23, 82% of the acres burned are on federal land. Of the 18% that's burned on private land, 15% of those acres are burned because of the fires that come off of federal land
Federal lands,
and
yeah.
burn private land. And of the 3% of fires that start on private land and burn on private land, 98% of those fires are kept less than 100 acres because they're managed resource.
Right.
So when I led the Republicans to stop cap and trade back in the day, it was all climate change, climate change, climate change, and carbon sequestration. Well, there is no better damn carbon sequestration engine than Douglas County and our timber in this state that is God's gift to the planet when it comes to carbon sequestration.
Yeah.
Healthy
Makes-
trees.
Makes
Yeah.
the most resilient building material in the world with a byproduct that's oxygen. And we have been taking steps with Senate Bill 872 and the 23 session that you both that supported and sponsored. That is policy from the state of Oregon to the feds. We want more thinning, more meadowland restoration, more prescribed fire, and for the first time ever, more salvage logging.
Yep.
And we've created the CSGS, Council of State Governments Wildfire and Disaster Preparedness Committee, and out of the 1,180 legislators in the 13 western states, there's only 16 co-chairs, and I'm privileged enough to sit as one of those co-chairs and for that committee. For the 8 committees, there's only 16, so there's 2 apiece. So what I'm saying is we are making strides and moving forward. The environmental for-profit nonprofits are finally realizing that their hypocrisy in their narrative just doesn't work. When we need sticks for houses, and we have them locally, and you have all the leakage when they're trucking in logs from Canada, and all the carbon emissions associated with that.
And our families out of work.
Correct.
Put out of
Yeah.
work.
Well, and the other thing is the other economy is the hunting, the wildlife. I've spent my entire life hunting these mountains since I was a little boy. Love the Cascade Range. I still hunt the east side because they manage it over there.
They do, yeah.
But on this side, the Diamond Lake area, it got to a point, the places where we went, it drove the wildlife out because there was nowhere for them to go because of the windfalls. 20, 30 years of windfalls, a little fat squirrel like me can't get through them. What do you think an elk, a deer are going to do?
They're going to run through them.
Well, not only that, but look at what it's done to the North Umpqua and the
Oh, yeah.
temperature,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can't. But I personally believe, and many of my colleagues do, that these environmental for-profit nonprofits don't want to solve the salmon issues because then they don't get the resources to
Then-
solve the salmon issues.
Right.
Right.
So on Trent's comment, I want to
Insurance.
no, Dwayne Waller, who's a good friend of mine from Sutherland.
Great question, by the way.
Yeah, it's a great question you just asked. And he says, what are we going to do about ODF&W raising licensing costs? The fees are going through the roof. It's projected to cost $311 to purchase a sportsman pack. How will we stop poaching with these rates? And I agree. And David, you are on the what is it? The wild. I forget the.
So I'm the co-chair of the
Sportsman's-
Legislative Sportsman's Caucus
Mhm.
for the Oregon State Legislature. ODF&W, again, budgets are priorities, right? I don't believe that ODF&W should be able to raise fees without a vote of the legislature.
That's right.
That is,
But they're an agency.
they are an agency, but again, we have more Oregon administrative rules than we have Oregon revised statutes. Oregon revised statutes are legislatively, legislatively passed, public process, the whole gamut. Oregon administrative rules are agency making law. And if you look at DEQ's budget, for example, and I'm not trying to get away from the question, I'm just trying to, if you look at,
DEQ is one of my favorite topics to hate.
but if you look at DEQ's budget, it has doubled in the last 6 years.
Right.
And it hasn't doubled because the legislature has passed legislation to increase the fees and bureaucracy. The agency has increased their own at the direction of the governor. So again, I circle back, budgets are priorities. It's a serious problem with regards to the inflationary cost of Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife. The co-chairs and the Democrat supermajority refuse to prioritize general fund dollars. And this isn't ODOT dollars. There's different buckets of money. The color of money is different, right? So they have refused to, even though we advocate for it, and rural Oregonians advocate for it, fund services at ODF and W. And more importantly, when they do fund, they have taken those licensure dollars and they're funding conservation efforts to support the environmental for-profit
Right,
nonprofit activities.
exactly.
And so, what is his name?
Well, so Dwayne had a follow-up to that.
Dwayne, essentially, the fees are going up because the environmental for-profit nonprofit and their supporters don't buy hunting and fishing licenses.
Right.
Now,
In
some of
fact,
them
they'd
do.
like to not have anybody shooting game.
Correct. And so, Trout Unlimited is not about unlimited trout. You know what I mean?
Let's go to Dwayne's second comment here because it's pertinent to the situation. It says, I haven't seen one game warden in the woods in the last 15 years. What are we paying for? First off, I want to congratulate you, Dwayne, because I have. And
I haven't.
I
haven't been. I can't tell you the last time I was chatting.
the last time I hunted in Eastern Oregon, I saw 4 of them in the same day, and there were 4 different ones. But anyway,
They knew you were there.
They knew I was there, and we can talk about shooting Scruffy and all that stuff later. But that's a whole different story. So I think that's 2 different buckets of money. That's a state police issue, Dwayne.
OSP.
Yeah.
OSP, and also some of the game wardens are funded through other resources. I think Parks and Rec actually funds some of the state police for the woods as well, at least a portion of that. Totally different.
But I don't know, forgive me for not knowing what the budget line item is that goes to conservation currently in ODF and W's budget. I do know that there was a bill in the House that was co-chiefed by Representative Owens and Representative Helm that would have increased the transient lodging tax that is collected statewide by 1.2%, 1.3%.
2977.
And it died in the House.
It died in the Senate.
Oh, that's right.
We killed it in the Senate, but that money is supposed to generate 20 million. I want to say, or 20.
That sounds right.
$20 million to fund conservation. So the idea is, the argument, right, is that people come to Oregon to do, bird watching and to go out there, and they're not doing the hunting and fishing activities, but they're doing the nature activities, and this is supposed to help supplement that. But that's just it. Currently, again, I apologize for the round robin, but right now, hunting and fishing licenses are paying for conservation services.
Yeah.
And the Democrat supermajority is not prioritizing resources currently coming in through other tax revenues to ODF and W, and so therefore ODF and W is increasing the fees to cover their perceived costs.
So I want to keep rolling because we're getting some questions in. So I want to keep them short. So we've only got an hour. But Sue Dalfit said, "What safeguards would you propose to prevent?" I think that's supposed to be oars.
Oars, the no paddle.
From overstepping legislative intent. I'm not sure I quite understand the question.
So I think I do. There is it Rocher? There is a referral going around to collect, but my understanding, and Court was on the Marine Board, which is previously, but my understanding is the Marine Board has said that they are not going to enforce that.
No, they don't have the money to enforce it anyway.
Right? Because it was
What was
so
the bill
crazy
to-
that if you tie 2 inner tubes together,
Yeah.
if I remember right,
It was the let us paddle
Yeah.
It was an
referendum.
attempt to kind of license
Yeah.
some of the small paddle boats and what have you, and
Right.
it did not go over well.
Yeah.
I think the intent was to try and improve facilities and have all boaters that use those facilities, but it wouldn't have generated that much.
But
I'm not entirely sure that was the intent of this question.
The,
But-
the base legislation was,
Yeah.
the base legislation from the previous was the quagga zebra mussels.
Oregon administrative rules.
Yeah. The zebra mussels are a serious issue. If they get into the hydroelectric dams, your power rates are going up now. They will shut down those hydroelectric dams. And so the intent is when you have boats that are coming going from one body of water in
From
another
other states
state,
too.
Right.
Yeah.
coming in, you have these check stations, and you need to pull your drain plug and so forth. But the zebra mussels are not hanging out on paddle boards.
No.
It's ridiculous. I can't believe the damn bill passed through.
Well, I
through
think
the
it
House.
might get it referred back. Let's keep rolling.
Sorry.
We got more. That's okay. This is good stuff. But I want to touch on something else. Court, you were recently elected, I think, to the coastal
Chair of the Coastal Caucus.
chair of the Coastal Caucus. What's that all about?
Well, Oregon is very diverse geographically. I mean, you talk about the deserts, the mountains, the rivers that we have, and the coast is its own region. And when it comes to commercial fishing interests, when it comes to tourism, when it comes to just the different cities we have 7 counties, we have 22 incorporated cities, and so and a lot of ports, and those ports all need help, and they're very important to everything that we do on the coast of Oregon. And so in that distance, our 7 state reps and 3 senators have come together, and David has served on that board a long time, that caucus, and Rep. Gombard decided to leave, and so they offered me the job, and I said, hey, I'd be very interested in doing that. I have 4 ports in my district, plus the port of Coos Bay is just barely out of my district, or our district, and so some really good things could happen for Oregon. And plus, just, you've got marine reserves, you've got endangered species that we're working on. They want to reintroduce sea otters, and so, yeah, thank you.
Do sea otters eat fish?
They eat urchins, and we're
Oh,
going to
urchins,
train them to
that's
eat.
And
We're going to train them to eat purple urchins.
Well, and
aren't
the
we?
urchins are eating the kelp forest, especially with the sea star wasting syndrome that occurred a few years back, and the kelp forests are fish incubators. But the other thing is Oregon owns the 3 miles of the ocean, right? So Oregon owns 3 miles out. So you have the Pacific Fishery Management Council. You have a lot of different
Federal agencies.
You have OPAC. You have NOAA. I mean, you have all of these various things that are so critical when it comes to the coast. And the Oregon Legislative Coastal Caucus has been around for a long time. Former Senator Johnson was the past chair. Former Senator Roblin. I was the past chair.
Are you still on the committee?
Oh, I'm the vice chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just, so when it comes to coastal issues, it's a powerful caucus to advocate. I just want to, for those, this is a conservative podcast. So, I came in the legislature in 2017 as a county commissioner, and in 2017, there were 5 reps and excuse me, 4 reps and 3 senators that represent the Coastal Caucus. And then it was Senator Cruz and myself were the only Republicans in the Coastal Caucus in 2017. By 2023, we had 6 Republicans and 1 Democrat.
Oh,
So-
you're business friendly.
Well, not only that,
And
but
don't you forget.
I'm just saying, when you think about that, Oregon is lost. When you think about that we can't elect more Republicans in this state, I always go back to the work we've done at the Coastal Caucus
It's a grind.
When Representative McEwen left, we elected Representative Wright. When Senator Johnson left, we elected Senator Weber. When Senator Roeblen left, we elected Senator Anderson. So we have the opportunity, if we can do it on the coast,
Oh, we can do it statewide.
and I worked
Absolutely.
my rear off to do it on the coast,
Yeah.
we can do it statewide. And I truly believe the pendulum's swinging back in 2026.
So let's move on. We're getting a few more questions, but I wanted to talk real quick about Douglas Timber Operators. We all just came from that party. They had their Christmas party tonight.
Art Adams got the award, the year award. What is it? I'm trying to remember what
Is it
it's
the
called.
Tough Tree Award?
The Tough Tree Award.
Tree
Yep.
Award.
David and Virgil, have you ever missed one of those DTO?
I
annual
missed
meetings?
last year because I was out of town, but other than
But
that,
you made almost all of them. It's
Almost.
just unbelievable.
I missed last year because I was in the hospital with my dad.
That's right.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Douglas Timber Operators, they are the the Fish Derby is theirs. They kind of run that as well, but they're also a coalition of timber operators, from mill owners to loggers to fallers to, just it's a great organization, and they are absolutely wonderful people.
Community minded as you'll
Well,
ever
I mean,
find.
look what we heard tonight. I mean, how we heard about Art Adams and his
Nordic veneer, yeah.
generations of work. Four generations were in that room tonight.
Yep.
The jobs, the donations.
Oh, yeah.
They helped build Mercy Hospital.
Yeah,
You
and so was Alan Ford was there.
Well, no,
as well.
of course.
Yeah.
I mean, look
God,
at the
he looked
Ford
good, didn't
Family
he, for-
Foundation.
Alan looked really good, actually. I was like, how's
Yeah.
that Alan?
You guys know how old he is?
He don't look it.
Hey,
close
well,
to
we're not
90,
telling
isn't
that on the
Yeah.
podcast, but
Yeah.
but I
amazing.
guess one of the I was driving over here from there. I'm just thinking,
He's amazing.
it was a beautiful drive over at 8:00 this morning. I love coming over 42 because
Right.
I'm in my district the whole 2 hours.
You're lucky because this is the most beautiful district.
It is the most beautiful, and all of you agree.
And Ed Deal, if you're watching tonight, I hope you heard that.
Nice.
Especially that Winston area, man. That place
All right.
rocks.
We will definitely reinforce that.
But I guess what I want to just what I want to finish
All right.
is you get to hear tonight driving from the
Coast.
Douglas Timber Operators Awards Christmas banquet was just you're just thinking about all of the just generational families that have supported and built in the generations here in Roseburg and how they're still committed to these communities and our economies and know how important it is. It's just a
So-
very special place.
So one of the really cool things every time I see the Adams family there is that my first real job, when I was in high school, I worked, part-time jobs here and there, but my first real job was Nordic, and I pulled green chain. And back in those days, there weren't any automatic stackers. I mean, the
You
automatic
were-
stackers
you were
were
the stacker.
They were the 12 of us on that chain, and you better not let the wood go to the haul back. So, and that's part of growing up here. I pulled green chain there. I pulled green chain at Roseburg Forest Products. I worked the spreaders. I did just about every job at a plywood mill before I went into management at Roseburg Forest Products. And so when those guys, that video we watched tonight, when those guys are talking about that kind of work, I get it. I know exactly, and they were brought up that there was no trophies for participation back in those days. The mills here are production mills. And RFP puts a million board feet of timber or lumber, I should say, through their sawmill on every shift,
Yep.
right? And and if they fall short and it's 850,000, then they're losing money that day, right? So I mean, those are important things. But I love our timber industry. We definitely, I think all of us support it. And
Douglas fir is king.
Douglas fir is king here, and it should be. We used to be the timber capital of the world. We should still be.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where you guys come in,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of questions. What do we do? What do we do? Vote Republican. Get rid of Democrat leadership. It's failed, folks.
40 years.
Let's
Yeah.
just cut to the chase. It's failed. You guys brought a sensible plan to ODOT. They wouldn't even talk to you.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And that's what I want to get into now is the referendum.
You're welcome.
That really hurt, by the way.
That was a good lead-in.
Yeah.
I got a message from Ed Deal today that we had hit 175,000 signatures. We cleared the minimum that we needed within about less than 10 days. I
Yeah.
think it was
No, it was like 5.
5
Yeah.
days, yeah.
He just
Or-
wasn't saying, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
House Bill 3991 to repeal the $4.3 billion tax increase.
I collected 5 signatures at lunch
Yeah.
today.
So
Who's going to say no to you?
Yeah.
an amazing
right?
thing that has happened here, and not every state has the ability to put
Refer.
a tax on a referendum like that. And I think there's only about 6 or so. There's not that many states that can do that. Oregon's constitution says we can. Now we need to guard that.
Oh, always.
That's
But we also need
that's
to
democracy.
Fix, we also
Democracy.
need to fix the ability for the governor to delay the signing of the bill, as she did, to limit the 90-day window that we have to collect signatures. Now, if it wasn't for, again, Ed and Senator Starr, Leader Starr, and Jason Williams and Jody Fleck, and this, and getting the word out, because remember we talked about it before. Every week we were on Mondays at 2:00.
Yep.
As this team, and then you had over 2,000 Oregonians and 67 captains,
Yeah.
2,000, 2,500 registered folks. Now, then it went to 5,000
Yeah.
Yeah.
registered folks that went to the No Tax Oregon website that were ready to go. And I think what we've just witnessed is a model
Yep.
for how we will do this in the future. And it is shock and awe to our Democrat supermajority folks in the Oregon State Legislature that this was done so quickly.
Virgil, do you think they're impacted at all? Are they phased?
Oh my
Are you
goodness.
talking about the Democrats?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're phased. They're definitely now. I think there's retaliation coming.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to really stress, and I was speaking about this today with my chief of staff. It's like, Representative Deal and Leader Starr and all of us for that matter.
Yeah.
This happened without spending. I don't want to say we spent $0.
No, we spent some money, but
But it wasn't a lot.
No, right.
Referendums generally take thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to get, like the governor recall and the in-vote by mail. So it takes money to get that stuff out there. This was a concerted attack on a bad policy.
the estimate, before going into what we created here was it would cost between $1 and $1.5 million to collect those signatures. And we didn't spend a fraction of that.
No.
It's people power, man.
Well, it is. It's given the power back to the people of Oregon. And, now, okay, so let's talk about, because I'm seeing the questions coming up. What's the governor going to do? What, and you said, are they phased? Yeah, they're phased right now. She's upset about it.
She's mad.
I think that we're going to see some attempts to derail the referendum.
Discredit.
They can't.
She's already tried that.
Yeah, but I think there's a good chance that they're going to try to move the referendum from, the voting time. It's not going to make the general. I think that's what they're going to shoot for.
You got a bunch of Democrats, especially in the House, that were told there's never, because Leader Starr said we told the government and Democrat leadership, we're going to refer this. If you pass this,
Yeah, we'll refer it.
we're going to refer it. And they told their Democrat legislators, don't worry, they'll never be able to collect the signatures.
Yep.
And then, bam, here they are. So now you have a bunch of Democrats, especially in swing seats, that voted for that damn thing. And now those
warned them.
Oregonians are going to be, and their constituents that signed that petition
We're gonna
are going to
make
be
sure.
voting to ban and repeal on the same time that they are not voting for that Democrat that passed that bill. And that is what they fear. So you're exactly right. You're going to see, I believe, and I said this before, the Democrats are going to try to find a way to change the date, not have it in November and have a special election in September or something. You're going to see some shenanigans. Don't know what it is yet. Haven't heard what it is. You're gonna see shenanigans when it comes to trying to decouple from HR 1 federally. We're gonna be gearing up for a brutal 35 days in February 2026.
And
Oh, it's
the
gonna be a lot.
decoupling, that's a complete another show we should talk about.
We do. We need to
Yeah.
talk about that. And again, it's another. It's without getting into too much detail. It's another way that they safeguard their ability to tax us to death. And we can talk about our kicker, how much we have coming back, that we're overtaxed and all that stuff, but I want to get into something else. The governor's race. I heard today that, and I don't know if it's true or not, and we don't say anything on this podcast that we don't know is true, so I'll preface this by saying I don't know if it's true, but I heard that Chris Dudley was going to possibly get into the race.
Who?
Chris Dudley.
Oh, who?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, we don't know.
Just kidding, Chris.
And yeah, I mean, we don't know. Right now, I think we have some viable candidates. We have Danielle Bethel. She's obviously viable. And, of course, Christine Drazen.
Senator Drazen, yeah.
Senator Drazen has name recognition for sure. Has anybody heard whether or not our governor's actually filed to run?
She hasn't filed yet. She's collecting money, though.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's
So,
raising money.
Yeah, I got a little suspicion.
yeah.
She wants to run for Merkley's seat after he runs again, wins, resigns after 2 years, and then the new governor, which would probably be Tobias Reed, would appoint her.
Yeah.
So there was a
Worst
bill.
case scenario.
There was a bill from that, remember?
Oh, yeah.
From Senator Sarah Gelser that we killed.
Did it die?
Yes,
Oh,
it
that's
died.
good. Yeah, I think there's shenanigans coming. And by the way, Brad Bainbridge, thanks for joining us tonight. And yes, it was a pleasure to finally get to meet you in person. We've talked on just about every form of social media and text messages for a long time. But yes,
If our constituents, conservative constituents, actually knew we need to keep a list of the bad bills that we kill,
Yeah.
without the numbers to kill them. I mean, it's relationships that we have that help kill bad bills.
well, but and that's where it gets a little sticky, because sometimes I think people, they judge you by those relationships. But if we don't have those relationships, we don't have a seat at the table.
No.
And to get that seat at the table, so honestly, I say it kind of in jest, but really sitting at the dinner table
Yep.
with some of your colleagues that you're not necessarily aligned with politically,
Correct.
you can have that conversation that nobody else gets to have, and you're able to kind of turn things around.
And they aren't sitting at the dinner table with you if you're being. You can be assertive without being a jerk, right?
Yes. Yes.
And so.
Yeah, and then, what's really weird is that I thought we had some really good relationships right up until Kotek shoved this tax bill up our butts, and all of a sudden it's like all these people that are like, oh, this is bad, we would never vote yes for it. Bam, they all voted yes for it.
Wow.
And honestly, our governor is one of the most evil people by dragging in Hua Win, who basically died.
Did not have a good look at all.
Not at all. And she passed away from cancer just, a week or two ago. And they literally drug her in so that she would vote. I mean, how evil is that, right? And
Well, I will tell you that the session went on the 30 days that it did because Senator Gorsuch was recovering.
Yep.
And I give Senate President Wagner credit that he refused to even attempt to force Senator Gorsuch into that building, and I can't speak to the conversations, of course, that he had with the governor, but I can almost guarantee you that she was not happy. But
Yeah.
We use the term shenanigans. That's as good as any.
Yeah.
People are listening know what we're talking about.
Absolutely. Ashley Roachcliffe made a comment about concerned with people running for governor. They're continuing to tell us what's wrong, not what they can basically do about it. I don't disagree. It's a tough thing to run a campaign, and I will tell you, my personal opinion on any campaign is that people don't like hate. They don't listen to it. The more harsh and hateful your campaign is, you'll gain the momentum of about 20% of the people. The rest of the people will go, you know what, I can't do this. This is just not right. So I never run my campaigns on hate. I also don't really ever say my opponent's name. And I learned that from Commissioner Freeman, who has been excellent at helping me and advising me on campaigns. Okay, so we are down to our last 5 minutes. And I like to let everybody have a chance to close and talk about what it is. And I wish we had more time, but at some point, this podcast is supposed to be rebroadcast on the radio, and we can get into that discussion another time. But so we're kind of limited to 1 hour, and that's probably all anybody wants to listen to us anyway. So,
But we started 6 minutes later.
we have 10 minutes.
Woohoo!
All right,
Good. I do have.
I
if
get 1
may.
minute.
you guys are killing me.
Well, no,
All right,
I,
so,
I,
we're going to keep going.
I,
we got 10 minutes.
I just want to mention a couple things real quick.
Yeah.
That because Representative Boyce, Representative Boomer, and myself, a couple weeks ago, were able to. Was it last week? We were able to join business leaders and community organizations.
Southern Oregon Workforce Investment Board.
In Coos Bay. So the Southern Oregon Workforce Investment Board got a grant, $750,000 grant, really towards the trade sector jobs, right? And mainly towards trade sector construction jobs, which are critically important. And so
By the way, they go from Reedsport down to the California-Oregon border, so all three of our
well,
counties.
no, it's for Coos, Curry, Douglas, and Josephine, and Jackson counties. It's all of, that's what the grant is for.
Okay, I got you.
And so it was just fantastic to have. There's probably 60 community, and we're talking,
They're-
Blacksky Clifton, the owner, we're
The
talking.
objective,
The objective is to get these young people into these trade sector construction jobs. Just
we
a shout
need
out.
more builders and developers and contractors and
That's right.
Less unions.
guys that carry the tool belts.
And the hammers and when PSIP goes, we're going to need those jobs when the Pacific Coast Intermodal Port. But we need these trade sector jobs in our communities. It's something I know that all of us have been working on for a number of years, especially getting our youth in that trade sector jobs. And
Exciting
then,
stuff.
It's exciting. And then when I started in 2017 and got the 1.6 million, and then you got to beg to carry over those dollars every biennium. When you do that, it's hard to get other dollars for other things, but we still got the 35 for the veterans home. We still get anyway. The Port of Port Orford got 2 new 50-ton cranes finally installed. It was a $4.2 million project. We got like 2.2 from Connect Oregon, if I remember right, 1.6 from the legislative calculate, and then the port put in some, and other folks put in some, and they're finally up. And this is a game changer for the Port of Port Orford. Over 30% of the local economy is driven by that port. I mean, now you're going to be able to have boats. These captains be able to build new boats in Coos Bay at Tar Heel Aluminum and Giddings Boat Works, driving those jobs. It is just it's a regional game changer. You're going to have the ability to have larger boats because they were limited with a 25-ton crane. That means that you're going to have more people on the dock paying mortgage, supporting the Port of Port Orford, and they living in Port Orford with their kids going to our schools. It is a win-win, and it's just so great. We got to do the ribbon cutting on Sunday, and it's just great to see it.
Cool. Somebody just made a comment about they might need to get me a booster seat. Are you trying to say that I need to sit up?
You just look comfortable.
No,
I'm actually pretty comfortable.
These are nice couches, my
Yeah.
friend.
They are pretty. Well, I didn't buy them, but they're pretty nice. Okay, I want to talk about real quick something that happened last week for me. I met with, and she asked me to do it. I met with the mayor of Winston, and this is actually in your district court. But I grew up in Winston, so she asked me. We had lunch together, and she asked me, what do we need to do to get Winston moving forward? And the first thing that came to mind was
Cut taxes.
Yeah, great. well, of course, there's always we need more businesses there, not just secondhand stores. But the first thing that came to mind was I told her, I said, look, if I was the mayor of Winston today, I would capitalize on the fact that is the gateway to the Pacific Ocean. And everybody that comes through here has to go through Winston. I said, I would put a sign out there there's 3 ways into Winston. And I would put signs out there that talk about it and let the businesses kind of roll with it, right? Because that should be an attraction. And of course, the always comment is that, we got Wildlife Safari. Wildlife Safari is cool. And we need to support it, and it's a great thing. It's good for kids and everything else. And the tribe is doing some work there that I was not aware of. They're actually going to build some stuff down there. But, just like Grants Pass has a sign, I can't remember what it says, but it's kind of
It's an all-American city.
Yeah, I mean, it's like they need an identity, and Gateway to the Pacific Ocean, I think, would be a great identity. Are they still picking on me online?
Yeah, Green said you killed the couch.
I killed the couch. The couch is dead.
I'm sorry.
So,
Good one, Dwayne.
so one thing I've seen, and we talked a lot about this. I have watched the city of Sutherland absolutely blow up and do really good stuff.
Yep.
Right? I mean, they have their barbecue competition. They have the Blackberry Festival with the mud drags and volleyball. The events that they do there. I'm missing something, Trent. I know they have. There's several things. They have the music.
They have a chamber connect every week,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
they have a music festival
Mm-hmm.
that's amazing. And I told her, I said, Winston needs to follow suit. I mean, of course, Sutherland is had some great leadership there, and they've done some great things. So that was my advice.
you could almost say the gateway to the best coast because it is the best
West Coast,
district.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I see. Ross made a comment about opening up a dispensary, and I think Winston did just pass.
Oh, they
I think
did,
they
yes.
passed that, so they probably
they
will
can, yeah.
open up a dispensary at some point. And I don't think that. I'm sorry, I don't think a drug dispensary is going to help the. I mean, it'll certainly help fund the police, I suppose, but it brings a whole different culture. So anyway,
Hey, I want to thank all three of you for the 900,000 or close to we got for the city of Winston.
Yeah.
Your work, your help on that, for housing infrastructure. All the services. There's just a tremendous amount of excitement on that.
Mm-hmm.
David, when I got here or got to Salem 3 years ago, you left me a note that says, "Hey, one of our highest priorities is to kill bad bills." You mentioned that a minute ago, and boy, the more I'm up there, the more that rings true, and so I just really appreciate that. We've just had, the diversity in back to the ocean, the gateway to the Pacific, whatever you want to do there, the diversity we have in this area. Everything we do is to bring rural Oregon together and try and get the opposite ends of the spectrum in the legislature to understand what we deal with here and what we have to offer and what our issues are. If that's public safety, if that's a homeless issue, if that's the affordability issue, that's why we're there. And it's easy to get motivated and stay encouraged. And I don't know if it's just electing Republicans, but it's electing pro-family and pro-business people to the legislature, and we'll worry about their party when they get there. But we need help, and that's non-affiliated voters, that's independent voters. We got a chance to take the governorship, and there's the veto power, and I'm as optimistic as I've been in a long, long time. Truly.
that's good.
Well, and the governor, I mean, there's what? How many appointments? 1,500, 2,000 appointments?
That's huge.
I mean, the governor appoints the majority of the directors of all these agencies.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a game changer for commissions, boards, and agencies.
So with that said, and there's lots more comments, and I agree. The Melon Festival in Winston when I was a kid was a huge event. Huge.
Oh yeah, it was second to the fair. We had carnival rides
Yeah.
and everything.
Was that the start of Gallagher?
No, but it could have been.
thinking watermelon crawl
It
or
was an
something.
amazing thing, and I think that Winston's Park Commission needs to. They have their own challenges there. But Trent, we are now getting close to our closing time
Yeah.
here. But you are the Republican Party chair, and I guess part of your job and all the PCPs as well is to get those people to vote, right?
Absolutely.
And Douglas County has been conservative, which I love. I mean, I love being a conservative representative in conservative county. I won't say it's easy, but it's better than the alternative. What are we going to do, Trent? What are we going to do to get people to actually vote?
That's a great question, and this is kind of a stump speech for you guys. So in the last May, in our election this last May, what was the number? 13% of the county voted.
Yeah.
Guys, get out and vote. Your vote counts. Call somebody. These guys need your help, not only by votes, but also financially. You can contact each one of them. If you don't know how, contact me. I'll get you direct to them. But it don't work unless you vote. Exercise your American privilege and right to vote. That is, everybody's missing that part. When I did that survey a few years ago with Eastern Oregon, why didn't you vote? Well, I didn't think my vote counted. Every vote counts.
Yep.
And there's enough just in this town. If we vote, we can turn elections. If we just show up to vote. And if you need a ride, call us. We will come get you.
Yeah.
I won't make an excuse for you not being able to vote.
Where are we at PCPs in Douglas County?
We are over 200. We're very fortunate. We just got approved to go to 250 something.
Okay, good.
So
Because of population growth.
population, we can expand. So we're doing a little work behind the scenes on that right now. Of course, getting that organized and put together, and still maintaining track with going into election year and stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, the word is get involved.
Yeah,
Vote.
absolutely.
But not just vote. Get involved with your local party, and preferably get involved with your local Republican Party.
Yeah.
If you're a Democrat, then you can
Get involved with your Republican
Yeah,
Party.
get involved with your Republican Party. Well,
Yeah.
you'll enjoy the results much better. But anyway,
we have a good time.
at this point, we have now, I think, gotten really close to the end of our time, and I want to thank each of you for joining us, and thank you guys, especially for being in town. You guys are a long ways from home, but it's always nice to, this whole show is based around bringing government closer to the people.
Yep.
We want people to understand
Good
what's
job.
going on. Yeah, that's
Really
what we want.
appreciate it, Virgil. Thank you.
Absolutely. I don't think any of us have any egos involved in this. This is all just about helping people understand what we can do and what we can't do. And
Remember at the Charlie Kirk celebration, I told you, being from Curry County, I see Douglas County as the hub of hope for Oregon, because it is a nucleus of common sense and hardworking people.
And what a great team. I mean, legislatively,
We have a great
we
team.
have a great team. We all talk to each other just about every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's no roadblocks between us and the commissioners, between us and even the mayors, right?
Yeah.
And also like chiefs of police.
Sheriff.
I mean, Gary Kloppenstein, Chief of Police in Roseburg. He and I talk, regular.
Yeah.
John Hanlon's a great supporter, also an incredible sheriff, and we need those relationships and that teamwork to help us navigate the future. So
Hanlon might even be more popular than you. I'm not sure.
I think he is. Yeah, I think.
I don't know. His sexy blonde hair has been away. He's all gray now.
The thing, I'll just give one little plug for Hanlon. The thing I love about John Hanlon, and I like him or not, and some people have issues with some of the things that I have been in search and rescue for over 20 years, and I know that when I'm out on a rescue mission, and believe me, I have been in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I don't even know sometimes where I am. I know that our overhead is watching out for us. They know where we're at, and with his organization, as well as the commissioners, because the commissioners have to support this. It doesn't just happen in a vacuum. We have an amazing sheriff's department and an amazing search and rescue unit.
Yep.
And we can go on, and I can
And
talk
you
more.
guys, you were fighting fires this summer. I talked to you, and you were on your way up to
Up the
Paradise
river,
Lodge.
yeah.
You're the only call I took during that time.
Yeah, you're going up the Christmas card list.
and honestly, the response during the Arch Creek fire with our search and
Exactly.
rescue.
Our commissioners were fighting fires.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like,
we're all we're all real people.
yeah,
When Douglas Timber Operators did that video of the sheriff driving through the fire with Commissioner Freeman,
Yeah.
I showed that all over the county down there months later.
I drove the same road not long before them. But
Were you in the car maybe?
I turned around because I went back to the fire base and I said, look guys, I'm not going to die today to drive that road. We're going to go the road. We went around. So,
Well, they were making sure there was no people left up there.
they didn't make it back either. They had to go around to come
Yeah.
back. Yeah, the road was a mess. Anyway, all right. With that, thank you guys for joining us tonight, and
Thank
you guys are all awesome. And thanks to Little Mill Media for putting this on. Thanks to all of our sponsors for doing fantastic work and helping us keep this thing rolling. And until next week, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you then. Thank you.
have a great week.
Is your 4x4 Off-Road is your first stop for maintenance, repairs, and custom upgrades. From differential services to winch installs, we do it all. Fast, reliable, and built for adventure. Don't wait for breakdowns in the backcountry. Call Twin Peaks Off-Road today at 541-900-0015 or visit twinpeaksoffroad.net. Keep your 4x4 off the roads and in the adventure.